Okay, so we're gonna set this little monkey up in the lathe here, and got the 4-jaw in. I decided to I got some 4-jaw work coming up, so I switched over a while back. We'll get this set roughly here. I think that's 4.5 in diameter. Okay, that's pretty close. Looks like that'll work. So I'm looking at the lines just to kind of get a reference. Oops. That's about right. That one out. We'll check it with the scale. Alright, let's open that up a little more. Make sure we can get it in there, right? Alright, I think that'll work. So we're going to use the backing plate. I made a little 4-jaw backing plate. That way I don't have to fart around true in the front either. Let me get this thing in there. And I've got copper jaws on this too as well. All right, set that in there. Okay, went in. That's a good sign, right? And I'm using my small chuck key here to start with. Push that back. Until I get a little grip on that. All right. All right. So now I get just a whisker of tension on these. Let's give it a swat it back. Okay. Now we need a spindicator. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, that's alright. Alright. Okay. So now what I want to do, what I'm doing here is I'm going to cut a groove in this, and so I'm going to be pushing on it this way, and I don't have much of a grab on that, so I'm going to put it, and I don't have a bull nose center that'll go in there that doesn't have a long point, so I have this guy, which fits in there pretty good. And all this is just a anti-bozo feature. And I'm just gonna push up against that, like so. And all that's gonna do is put a little pressure on that, because I'm pushing this way. I got a pretty good grip on it. It's probably fine, but I got a bit of work in that thing, so I don't want to lose it. Okay, so let me change the camera. I'll show you the tool I'm using, and then we'll come in a little closer here. Okay, so here's the tool. It's a 45-degree tool, and we're going to relieve this in a similar way to the way we relieve the other side of this drive. So we're going to cut a groove that's probably about that wide, and the groove will have a profile like that, okay? So this, this angle is, it's 90 degree included, so it's 45 on the side. Now I want the maximum length I can get, so I'm going to come up and I'm actually going to touch the chuck jaw here, okay? So I'm going to come up against the chuck jaw. I'm going to zero the DRO, okay? And then I'm going to come off of the chuck jaw, I don't know, 10 thousandths, and then we're going to give it a safety spin there, okay? So that's my zero, all right? And then what I'll do is I'll come up and I'll zero the tool on the part, and then we'll traverse a groove across that and cut it. So I don't know, how fast do I want to go here? Probably not that fast. Let's do 400. 400. Let me get out of there and see what 400 looks like there. Yeah, I don't like that. That's too fast. How about 200? Yeah, that's better. Okay, feet's going the right way. All right, let's come up to my zero. Actually, I don't need my zero. I'm gonna just come up and touch off on the diameter. Right there. I zero the DRO. Alright, come back out. Come up to my starting point. Right there. And since I'm a big chicken, I'm going to spin it again. You know, when you're working up close to the your tooling there, you gotta be careful. All right. I don't know what else. Let's go for it. Okay, coming in. Let's drive in about, I don't know, this is cutting pretty good. Oh yeah. This is 642 aluminum bronze, and machines like really nicely, to say the least. And this is purely a decorative groove. I gotta pay attention here. I don't want to blow this here. I'm just looking at the widths here. It's a little bit weird because the there's a groove. And you can't really see it here, but there's a little groove here, and then there's a key on this side. So it kind of messes with your eye a little bit on what that groove should look like. But I'm limited how far I can go this way. I think I'm just going to drag it out a little farther. I'm not. And not worry about the symmetry of it. So I want to get a number here. Let's go 700. 7, 8, 9. Alright, that's 700. Let's go back to our start because I want to go deeper. Right there, alright. Dig in a little more. I'm gonna go 8. Alright, so that's an 1/8 inch on the diameter. I'll move the camera for the next pass. You guys can get a nice close-up view of that. Cut nice. Feeding that last bit. Alright, so I'm gonna come back to my starting point. I'm gonna move the camera and you guys can get a better look at that. Okay. That's a total of 200 thousandths on the diameter. We're going to go to 250, I believe. I think I got enough angle on my tool for 250. Go back and look at it in a sec. You see how nicely this stuff machines. This is 200 RPM, and it's a 4.5 inch diameter nominally. All right, that's 700. It looks like. Some of this stuff out of the way there. I don't want it to get sucked up into the chuck while we're turning. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice finish. Let's see, what do I want to do there? Yeah. Well, I'm going to turn it on again. Let's back up to our start. Let's see if I got enough angle on the tool there. Yeah, I got enough. And I'm going to come in a little more. Just enough. Alright, that's it. We're done. That's the last cut. I'll explain why in a second here. Let me finish this first and then I'll show you why. Whoops. John. Okay, so let me explain. Well, let me move the camera again. So what I was talking about is if you look at the length of this angle here and the length that I have on my tool, okay? So what I want you to do is kind of compare those. I'm going to come back to my starting point, which is right there. And you see I'm out of tool there, right? I can't really go in any farther. I ground this tool earlier and I said, oh, okay, that looks about right, and it's about right, okay? So that's it. I'm out of tool. I can't go anymore unless I regrind that tool, and I don't want to do that. And this looks pretty good right now. So I'm going to call it quits, and we'll go put it back on the Wabble and see what it looks like. Tension off. Okay. Oop. Can't rotate it with the sling on it, Mr. Dink. Okay. You hear that? That was probably Adam. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, bud? Okay, so we've relieved this, we radiused that, and this certainly looks better in that area. This kind of matches that, and it takes away from that bulky cylindrical look of this bronze wheel spacer. So I'm gonna take a break now, guys. I'm gonna put this on here. That way, when my wife sneaks out here to spin this thing, this hand wheel won't accidentally come off. That would be suboptimal. Okay. All right. There it is. Thanks for watching.